What's happening, Brendan?
We have an orange light on the dashboard, Heather. We don't know what it is. Heather? And Mr. Fix It.
Mr. Fix It.
Well, that's clean,
Clean?
which is good.
Okay. Might just have to live with an orange light. Did that come out of the... Or was that already on your hand?
I think that could have been a little bit of dirt, but there's no water in it.
Right.
That could have come out of the hole on the drain.
Oh, yeah, okay then, yeah.
Yeah, there's no water there. Just pulled up after being on the dirt road there on Strzelecki. We're just going to air up again. We've reached the bitumen, so from here into Lyndhurst it's all blacktop. So we'll put a bit more atmosphere in the tyres. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Sitting down here, I wish I could pronounce this place properly. Maluninga, or something like that. We're about 55k northeast of Maree and just shy of the south of Lake Eyre. This place here is a cattle station, but one of the things that makes it famous is this is where Donald Campbell did his first land speed records, and that there out on the Salt Lakes. And yeah, just blistering speeds. But a bit of a recap on what we've been doing. Yeah, we managed to get permission to come down from Inaminka through to Lyndhurst, and that had to come from South Australian roads because the roads were officially closed to vehicles heavier than 3 tonne. This, because of their trucks, the way that they're set up and that, they allowed us to come through being 4-wheel drive, but more as a have a look, see what they're like and report back. So we've done that. And now there's a few other heavy vehicles, road trains and stuff, going to be hopefully allowed permission to go through. But it's interesting, the track down from Inaminka to Lyndhurst was something that dated back to, if I get it right, 1870. And a cattle rustler named Harry Redford decided he would help himself to some cattle up there in northwest Queensland, and supposedly single-handedly drove them down to Adelaide to sell. Story goes he had over 1,000 cattle, 1,000 head of cattle, and was supposedly single-handedly driving them down to Adelaide to sell. When he got to Adelaide, he was arrested and charged, but because of his feat, a single-handed job of bringing these cattle and that down, they actually pardoned him. Not because he was so great or anything like that. They wanted his knowledge. They wanted to be able to use that knowledge to create a path up there to the northwest Queensland areas from South Australia and Adelaide. So he has gone back up there with a number of other bushmen and shown them the path. Strzelecki comes along and forges his path down through the Strzelecki Desert, and yeah, they opened up the route, heading up through from Inaminka to Lyndhurst, paving the way for other shipments, cattle droving and so on to come through there. So it was a pretty interesting history, and all through this countryside is just quite remarkable. We don't have history like they do in Europe. We have history here that sort of defies logic and defies belief. It's almost a case of it's stranger than fiction. But it's a pretty amazing place altogether. We had a few little issues on our journey down. The road itself wasn't too bad, but we had a moment with my trailer. Because of the new suspension that's under the trailer has got a lot of suspension travel in there now that it didn't have before. And because it's got mechanical disc brakes, they decided to play up and actually brake. So I'm not overly concerned about it because I'll end up putting hydraulics on there. Poor old Brendan had a few alarms go off in his truck that turned out to be absolutely nothing. It's the U-Butte electronics in some of these trucks. The least little thing can trigger a fault light. So he managed to get to the bottom of that after we checked for fuel problems and so on. And yeah, he's still with us. His truck's going like a ripper. Hopefully he's a happy Larry. Happy Brendan.
Yeah, happy.
Ecstatic. We had a good run, all told. We had a good run. And then we met up with Dave and Shani with their Iveco. So now we've got the 3 trucks in tow, and we're heading north, going up to Mount Dare. So stay tuned for that. We'll take you along for the ride. Cheers, guys.